How are you doing? Welcome to another dev stream of me trying to do hopefully cool stuff. I'm Eyal Amir. I am from the plugin company Modalix, as well as musical projects that you may or may not have heard of. And so what I was doing on the previous stream, that I'm creating this kind of a VST host utility app that will let you load plugins and play live, along with something like a processing chain and a MIDI processing chain. And this thing will likely be free. It's going to be a free app that hopefully will get released pretty quickly. And yeah, let's talk about what it is and where I got to in the previous stream and where it's going to be, hopefully, starting the next the stream is the next few streams. So here's what it does. Let me load the thing. Let's add my screen here. Great. So what this thing does, let's stop this AI generated music for a second. It's not designed yet, but it's will hopefully get there over time. The idea is that you can load a plugin. Let's remove this thing. Load a plugin. So for example, here I loaded Keyscape. You can see I'm like it loads the plugin, and I can just play through it. Here's the plugin. Here it is. And it's just a standalone app for now, even though there is a plugin version of this that I'll start working on at some point. This is the rock preset. Let's switch to another preset. I don't know if you can see my hands when I'm playing my keyboard. Okay, so this thing, I just loaded it. It loaded Keyscape. So it kind of it worked as a host. And now let's say that I want to have, you see I have 4 slots for MIDI processing and 4 slots for processing effects. One of these slots I can load, for example, something like FabFilter Pro R2. So it loaded. There it is. Now I'm playing through that. Right, and I can save this chain as a preset. And the next thing I did, that's the thing I did in the previous stream, I started to add a few plugins that I want to have built in. So you can see you can have like stuff that we've already released, like Eon ARP or Minds and Drums. But what I did in the last stream is that I programmed this from scratch. It's called Velocity Curve. This is a useful plugin because it just lets you do these. This is just going to be a flat curve. Let's say I took this down. Say this is going to limit my curve to. Yeah, and if you can see how hard I'm pressing the keyboard, but this limits it. I can curve it, so I can make it easier or harder to hit these lows, and I can even add more data points here, so that, for example, it's going to start out like it's going to take a while, like to reach these higher notes, but once it reaches them, maybe I want to very quickly kind of reach the top of the velocity, right? So this was just a utility plugin that I created just earlier that needs to be in here. By the way, let's see if this gets saved correctly. Let's write these weird curve. I haven't tested if preset saving and loading is working. So let's make this curve. Let's save this and call this something like piano velocity or something. Let's switch to another chain. Let's go back, and looks good. It saved all my settings, and this looks pretty good. Awesome. So yeah, so this is the kind of thing this thing can do. Like for now, even in the standalone, I find it mostly useful, when you just want to load up an instrument, load up effects or MIDI effect, and just get going with a live setup. It's one of these things that I find useful, because most of my day when I want to play, this is probably what I want to do with my computer. Like I just want to load an instrument or a synth or something like that and play. So yeah, so thank you. I'd like to say that I'm broadcasting this on a number of different networks: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, or something. If you're seeing this, you can type, if you have a question or something, type it in the comments. I will post it for everyone else to watch. And yeah, so this is where we got to in the last stream, and now let's move on. So what I want to do now is currently what happens is this plugin, the Velocity Curve plugin specifically, that plugin is a VST3. Like I can literally go and load it now in Ableton Live and get a Velocity Curve plugin. But really, what I want is I don't want the user to install that plugin. Like I don't want the user to have an installer where this goes just like they install EonARP or Beatscaler. I don't want them to install Velocity Curve. I want Velocity Curve to be like its own thing. So I want to think about how to do this, and for this we have to dive a little bit into the code and how my code works. Currently, the way my code works, there's some UI stuff and everything, but then eventually this goes into my host. It's called dynamic host class. It's a class that's just meant for one plugin slot, and then at some point this gets called set plugin, and yeah, it gets called this thing called set plugin, and then it tries to create this thing from the description. And what I think I need to do currently, the way this works is like there's some system there that says the plugin description. If we go into that's a juice class. So it says something like, yeah, here you go. So it gives you some information about this, like you see descriptive name, plugin format name, manufacturer name, something like that. But then eventually there's something here that lets you, here you go, file or identifier. And I think what I'll do is I'll have some different way to create my plugin from like some built-in format where things will kind of get globally registered to inside of this process, and then this thing could detect it and could create the plugins on the fly, like this Velocity Curve plugin. So yeah, so so now let me add this AI generated music. Okay. Right. So, here you go. Create share plugin. Perfect. So this is the point where I want to be able to kind of inject my own function. I guess there's a few ways to do this, but I'm going to start with something something simple. So what I would do is I would have a wait. If it's okay. Yeah. So this function actually create plugin from. Oh, but this actually creates an instance, right? So I need a function on top of this function basically. This is called create plugin from. This function doesn't exist anywhere. Oh, it does. Yeah, create plugin from. Because what I want to do is I want to do I need the instance or do I need the there's a couple of classes here in the hierarchy. I need to make sure if I have the right one. So audio plugin instance. Create plugin from. Okay, so yeah, I should be able to inject something into here. So I can just write a free function. Namespace helpers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so this is going to be, what does this return? This is an instance, but this thing, right, result equals, okay, but this is a shared pointer of audio processor. This is pretty much what I need. So, or make shared of host. That's interesting. I wonder if I actually need to create an audio plugin instance here, like I do here. Baseline from actions of the plugins derived from that. Okay. Should never derive out subclasses. Okay. Yeah. So one way is that I'll create my own plugin format, like I'll inherit from format, and that way, I think this would kind of populate this almost automatically. Yeah, because I do want this thing. I do want this class called host. I think I do want this class to be created somehow. It needs to be created from a plugin instance. Do I need this to be an instance? Oh, yeah. So it looks like I do need this to be an instance. So I do need to implement my own plugin format for this. So let's see how is another plugin format created. I've never. I don't know if I've done this so much in the past. So we're gonna look at how this gets built. So also we're just writing this here just so that I'll get an idea of how this works. So it's gonna be something like extract modal-x format audio plugin format. Ooh, there's a lot of virtual functions here. What other formats exist? Let's see. Maybe there is a simpler format that I can maybe use, because I know that, for example, maybe I should take a look at this. The Juice host is using, I think, their own formats. Let's have a look at this. Where's Juice? Juice. Okay. So the Juice has an app called Audio Plugin Host, and I think they have their own plugins here. I want to see exactly what they did. So it's extras, Audio Plugin Host, plugins. Okay. Here we go. They built an internal plugin format and they've implemented all the functions. Okay, so they've done exactly that. They have, yeah. So they just created this thing that they created a factory for this. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll probably need to do something like what they did in their thing. So I'll keep this here. Maybe I would even let's have this thing minus D juice build extras. This one. I just maybe want to make this build because I might need to debug this to see exactly what it is they did. Okay, back to my code. So let's yeah, so I have something called default plugin format. Plugin manager or default manager. Default manager. How do I call this? Default format manager. Okay, great. So here, what I'm going to do, let's do something like or let's just call it something like internal format. Carries from Juice audio plugin format. So I need to implement all these pure virtual functions. There's no way around it. Basically everything that has equals 0 I need to implement, or this won't compile. So many functions. Okay, find types for file. So how did the Juice do it? Did it, because I don't think there's any files in what they did. So I'm guessing just return an empty thing. Something for file. So they just return nothing for all these. So they just find all types for file. Basically, they just did nothing. Right. So I can just ignore this. File might contain, and then just return false. I wish they would have done this on the base class. Like, it's so annoying that I need to implement like the world to basically do nothing. Get name of plugin from identifier. Okay, so they just return the identifier itself. Return file identifier. Plugin needs scanning. Let's just return false. Does plugin still exist? I guess it's always going to be true. Return true. Can scan for plugins. I'm guessing this should be false, right? What did they do? Can scan for plugins, yeah. False, okay. correct and true. Search path. Locations. Return nothing. This thing's so silly. So many virtual functions, basically nothing. Requires unblocked message thread during creation. Requires unblocked message thread during creation. False. Okay. Okay, I think this is really the interesting things here. Create plugin instance. Okay, good. So what I'll do here is I would do something like struct. Let's call it internal plugin list. This would really be the only thing that this thing does. And this would be something like a so I need to define like well, that's okay. So I need something that creates. So how am I going to create an instance from an internal plugin? Because that's really all I needed. Instance. Yeah, that's the thing. This thing that they call the factory. Okay, but how am I creating a constructor? What is this constructor? How do they register one of these constructors? Okay, so the format creates the factory. Here it is. This is the list I was looking for. Okay, it creates a new internal plugin. Okay, so they did have something that inherits from plugin instance. Okay, that makes it much simpler. So they just took a plugin, inherited from instance. Oh wow, there's a bunch of stuff here. Okay, so they basically just forwarded all the functions. Oh wow, okay, now I'm getting what they did here. Wow, this is a weird interface. Okay, I can do that. I already have a class that does that really, so it shouldn't be too hard. Like I have this class called forward in processor that I'm already using right here. So you know what, if I do this right here, I probably can just do a little extension. I don't even need all this stuff in here. I don't even need to do this to create my own format. I think probably meaningless. Really all I need in this case So I just need to dynamic host. Yeah, I need something that inherits from forwarding processor. Oh, okay. So I think that what happened is I kind of counted on the fact that this processor class would have an instance, and I just need. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I just literally. It's gonna be so silly. I literally just need to do this. Like create another forwarding processor, or why do I need this get instance thing? Let's see. Where's this thing used? Okay, if it's a host, it's fine. That's probably only, I think that's the only thing I need from this. Oh, that's so weird. I don't really need this. Okay, so I think what happens is that I created the wrong abstraction. This does not need to be aware that it's an instance. Let's see, why is this even needed? Get instance. Yeah, because if it's a host, then it's fine. It's going to take an instance. Yeah, because it seems to me I can literally just create another one of these. See, can I just modify this to be called forwarding instance? Yeah, this looks pretty correct. How's everyone doing, by the way? Okay, so I think I need this to be forwarding instance, and then I'll just need bring another one that could be like a forwarding processor. Because those classes are really just the same thing. Audio processor. Because these classes are really just the same thing. Or another option is that I can just make this thing a template, I guess, because it's really the same, pretty much the same thing. Let's what is this? Yeah, let's roll back everything I did here. Yeah, I can call this a forwarding instance. Let's do this again. Forwarding instance. And here I would do the template. Template, type name T, public, forward processing base. this would be class forwarding processor inherits from this, right? This would pretty much be the same thing, just take an owning pointer. Using pointer, they're using plugin or something. Plugin equals owning pointer of t. So we just return the plugin, and pretty much that's it, right? Yes, and there's this assert. Oh, assert and init. Good. So I'm gonna put both of them in here. And then everything here is just a template. Then this should just inherit from this of Juice audio plugin instance. Don't need this, don't need this. This would just return return plugin. Oh, inaccessible. Let's make this protected. Let's make this no. Let's just use this, like get oh wait, I do need get plugin. What am I doing? Get plugin. Yes, this one is it's a virtual function. I do need to implement this. But I also need, yeah, I think I can just make this a struct. Nothing here needs to be private. Okay, so this can be a struct, and this can just be like, this is literally going to be nothing, just a struct inheriting from this, and it's just going to be like using yeah, this just is all the forwarding. That means that I should be able to very quickly create an instance of this. Right, so they struct, let's call it like an instance. So this is to be the actual instance that because I just need to inherit from this. How did I do it in the Juice host? Here you go. So they had an internal plugin inherit from this, forward the million functions. Set buses layout with an internal layer. I think I've done all of this stuff for the layout, I believe, at least. Match channels. I think I do all of that. If I don't, yeah. So I just need to inherit from instance, and I guess instance. Oh, I see the problem here. There's an issue here. Sorry about that. Couldn't make it to the mute button in time. Yeah, so I think there's going to be an issue here because this instance class also inherits from processor. It's going to make it difficult. Let me think. I might be able to make just make this inherit from Juice Audio plugin instance, right? Because this is essentially the same. Is this overriding anything? Wish I didn't do it like this, by the way. I wish I didn't make this inherited, but okay, so that means that this would need to we're doing the right thing. I think I should just be able to inherit from a couple of functions here. Like this one, fill plugin description, and maybe that's it. Get extensions. Okay. Probably don't need this one. So just this one. I just need to do add fill plugin description. Okay, and then if I use an instance here, yeah, exactly. So if I use an instance here, this should return get instance dot fill plugin description. So the internal description should be able to do this. And if I make a processor, then I should be able to fill it myself. Yeah, so I think if I'll go here to my host class and let's start, not plugin host, it's called dynamic host. Okay, so let's say I create this thing called a, what's not compiling here? Add parameter, oh no. Oh, that's not good. That means that because now it's a, I inherited from instance that made some of my functions private, I guess. Ooh, I hope I didn't cause like compilation problems with that. Let's have a look. Because I can probably do something like oh no, C++. Yes, C++, best language. And also really the language where pretty much all programs like this are written in. Some people like languages like Rust, but there isn't really a wide selection of languages you can use. C++ is probably by far the most common one for anything to do with audio. This is the virtual function, right? Add parameter, yeah. So this should be okay. Let's see if I didn't break my compilation too much with this this change I've just did. So the question is, are you building something? Yes, I would shown before what I'm doing, but I'm building a plugin host. It's a standalone app that can load other plugins. Like it's mostly for instruments, so it's going to load an instrument, like a plugin, like a Serum or Vital or any kind of synth. But it can also load a few. It's got slots for MIDI effects, gets slots for audio effects, and it's something used to play live with plugins, like with instruments. It would probably likely be a free plugin. Oh, I see what's going on here. Yeah, I don't think I can do what I just did. So I'm gonna. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. I need to undo everything I just did probably. Let me think about this. Yeah, I just realized something about the way Juice constructed their library. I think what happened. Yeah, so by the way, I'm going to show, we will just tune in what it is that I'm doing. So it's not finished, of course. It's, still looks pretty ugly, but while I'm building this, I would explain that the problem I'm running into is I'm just learning a little bit more about this Juice Audio Plugin instance class. Here it is. Okay, so sorry for the weird design. It's not real design, but the idea is that you can load a plugin. Like I have Keyscape loaded here. Here it is. But I can load any other plugin. This can scan my other plugins. So for example, I can load, Serum or something and show this. It shows it on my other monitor. I have to drag it back in, and here's Serum, and I can play this. Right, and I can also add effects. So here I'm adding, I have a Fab filter plugin loaded, and I can, maybe add a channel strip. For example, this one, Waves CLA Mixup, and you can save this chain as a kind of singular thing. And then you can load MIDI effects. So there was this little velocity curve plugin I built in the previous stream. So you can load these like interesting curves for your velocity, and you can load stuff like Modalix plugins, stuff like that we make in our company, like Eon ARP, which is an arpeggiator. There it is. So you can build crazy patterns. This is one of our plugins. It's on our website. But the idea is that you can create these like processing chains. Comment is, you are so amazing building with CPP, man. Respect plus plus. I love the respect plus plus. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Definitely check out some of their Modalix plugins that we're making. They're on our website. Like if you go to, let me show this to you. For people who are not aware, there's my company. It's a company that I made along with my longtime musical partner Olu Bianiker from Project RNL and Waves and everywhere. So you can go and see our stuff. We have a drum sequencer that lets you do crazy rhythms. We have a sampler that's like really high level multi-sampler thing with a bunch of microphones and like realistic algorithms. We have effects like Bitfuzzer and Time Mode Chorus, and we have the ARP. We get an iPad app as well. So yeah, so we get a lot of stuff on modalix.com. If you've never been there, definitely go to modalix.com. and check out our stuff. There's free trials for all the plugins. And what I'm building today would hopefully be a free, hopefully be a free app. So this will be a free app, and you should be able to just download it and start jamming. There's a plugin version that I don't know if will be released on the first version or not, but there's also a plugin version where you can kind of load plugins inside of other plugins and create chains. It's also very useful. So we're gonna talk all about this. So the thing I was working on now specifically is so we got this. So you see, we got this chainer. It loads these different plugins, and then the idea is I wanted to load something. You see this velocity curve, right? Right now, velocity curve is loaded as an instrument. And that means that it's actually in my plugins folder. Like I actually built it earlier. It's going to be here. Here in this folder, right? You see, I actually built a file called velocity curve. I built a file called velocity curve, and I needed it to be installed on the user's computer. I don't want that. I want that the internal plugins like velocity curve. I want them to be more of what's it called? I want it to be like kind of built in. I want that whenever you install this, you don't need to install other VST3 files. I want you to kind of have at least these ones, velocity curve, and a few basic ones that we're gonna have included. So yeah, so what I did was I looked at the way Juice is the library that I'm using. I was looking at how they did this, and what I noticed, they have this app called Audio Plugin Host. That's like a modular connector, similar to this in terms of like the internals. And what they did, so I might just copy this whole thing that they did. Just because it's very useful. So I'll just literally copy paste what they did, and then I might modify this to fit my needs or something. So they created a class called internal plugin. Which takes an audio compressor and basically does just forwards everything. So let me just copy this thing. Just so that I'll have a good starting point. So let's go to my hosting code. It's going to be in plugins, plugin hosting. So let's call this thing. I wish I just put it as a part of the framework instead of putting it in the example code. It's kind of annoying. Like I could just use that class, but I can't. So I'm gonna have to do something like plugin hosts plugin.cpp. Okay, so that's just the internal plugin. Okay, okay. Version is project info versions. Okay, I know how to solve all these problems. Okay, so let's just call this something like format name Modalix. Internal or something, or I can just call this internal plugins. version. So this is built with the same. So I can literally just use. However, I do need all this shit to be in the header actually. Static. I don't need the static thing. I can it's a free function. I'll probably do something else in that whole implementation. So let's do that. Oh, you know what? I guess it's fine. I don't really care that it's like this. Yeah, it's good. And I can actually change this now to use my owning pointer instead of unique pointer, I believe. Just for consistency. Good. Register as generator. Accepts MIDI sync, if not as a generator. Interesting. Okay, can do that. This is another function or something like string get category. First thing I need to change, I don't know if that's true. Oh, register as generator. What's register as generator? Oh, inputs isn't zero. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Most of the MIDI plugins I know actually have, they actually do have audio input, despite this being a thing. Okay. I'll just remove this generator stuff if it accepts me as a synth. Okay. It's all the stuff I need because I need a function called what are these instance functions that I need? So create, share, plugin, something. Okay, so I just need to create an instance for this. So yeah, and now I should be able to do this do something like create internal plugin. And then if description dot okay, so if it okay. Okay, so if it's internal, then now I need to look for the factory. So there should be something like a internal plugin factory. And what this is, this should be it's a function that returns a pointer of audio processor. But it takes nothing basically. And then what I have here is something like a map of basically just a string and and the creation function. And then internal plugin factory, get internal plugin factory, because this has to be a singleton. And this should be something like a description. Yeah, because I can just do this here if it's the internal plugin name. So if the plugin, this is basically what we're going for. So the idea is that if the plugin is internal, we want to go to the map and take a function. We'll see in a second how does someone add something to this function. There's probably going to be some registration of all these different functions. Because the idea that this would show up yeah, just to make sure that this was registered. Yeah, just to make sure that registration here only happens once. I need to think about how to do this. But the idea is once this is registered, yeah, so once this is registered, the idea is that we'll see in a second with the menu, the pop-up menu should be able to grab everything from this map. And there's going to be some registration, so that's how all these like functions to create plugins are going to be created. So that's how we're going to create things for our internal plugins. So that means if description of plugin name equals get internal plugin name, then equals map description name. So it should find the name. Right. Oh, should be copied. And then, because what I want to do is, the function could also not exist. Right. Stood function off on. Oh, this is a problem. I did write this correctly. Okay, this is better. Good. So now I should be able to do something like if auto function to make it a reference, right? Equals map description.name. So look in the map. If it exists, then return the result of the function. Oh no, actually, then give me an new internal plugin which takes a function. I think that's it. And the other option is to return null PTR. It says, but it's actually not true. But I can actually do make owned, just to make it more clear that it isn't linked here. Make owned. No, this actually doesn't work. This is actually correct. I don't know what it does. It says that it's leaked, but it's not true. This does not leak. Holding pointer does not leak memory. Liar. Yeah, because this sticks an only pointer as well. Nothing gets leaked here. This should be totally safe. Right, and all this should do is to get internal plugin factory. Return dot create instance description. So that's really all this helper function is for. But I should probably also expose the internal plugin factory itself. Yeah, I think I should also expose the plugin factory itself somehow. So also need to do this. Ooh, that's not good. can also probably create a lock around these, but could there be some contention there? I guess there could. There could be, in theory, some contention on this map. Yeah, it might be better to protect this, because who knows, this might be created statically. Let's protect this in a better way. So just like a critical section. Lock. And then create instance. So lock this, and let's do something like register, or let's click add. So I'll lock access to this and that map. Oh, sorry, there's also the name const string name. Yeah, so this is because this map is basically just two functions. This will just protect some the rare cases that there might be a collision there between the registration of a new function and creating the instance, which I still think about this, but yeah, because I think what's more likely, I think likely if I'm going to call this on the constructor, there's not going to be any collision. Because on the first one there cannot be a collision, but still, I guess it doesn't matter to do this. There's no audio thread processing here. Okay, first of all, let's see if we're compiling, and then we'll see if we can get something useful out of these classes. So because really I did this for two reasons. I need to place this into place. One, I need that here, create plugin from, good. So this is something like auto internal equals, this should include internal plugins. So oh wait, that's interesting. I forgot about that. Create instance from description. Yeah, so I'm guessing, no, I do need these other things here. No, I can't just write my own function here. I need to use this, the default format manager. And that means I do need to create a plugin format. Okay, I guess there's no way around it. There's no way around it. I'm gonna have to do this. It's gonna be very stupid because this yeah, because that means I'm gonna need to, oh, it's so stupid that I need to yeah, and you know what? I can probably remove all this stuff from the header. How's everyone doing, by the way? Hopefully what I'm doing makes some sense. As you know, I'm creating a plugin host here that's going to be used to play. It's an app. It can be used to play plugins and chains of effects. Okay. So false, return. Okay. See how this thing's implemented in the Juice example. Create plugin instance. Okay, so just ignored everything else. Okay, this was just stupid. I did not need this format stuff. No. I did not need that. Let's hope I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, but I think I can just ignore all this stuff. Well, not all that stuff. This stuff. And then I should be able to, let me create this. Yeah, so I think what I did was I want to say first. if auto internal equals create internal plugin from the description, then return that. Otherwise, do the really thing, because it looks like this gets ignored anyway. Good. So this should create this. And then all I need is something to do when I'm populating the menu, I believe. Let's see if this gets built as I'm hoping. Okay, warnings, warnings. Name. Internal plugin. Oh. Do I have another one of these? Okay, this build is not going to do anything special. I'll just see that a regular plugin is going to load. Let's just pick some this plugin. So this works. Yeah, let's load the serum. All good. Let's close. And I think, yeah. So I think now I should be able to populate this in the menu. So the menu. Let's commit this for a second because this is nice. So let's do something like hosting, added initial support for internal plugins. Oh, but I also probably need to expose before I do this. I need to expose this here. So yeah, so I added initial support for the internal plugins. Then I should be able to get menu choices, selection. Good. So okay, so I think I also need a way here in the factory, something that will give me just a map, I guess. So let's do something like oh, that's interesting. Because I needed a description that would get passed here, not a string. Oh, but I guess I can just generate one on the spot. So I can do something like a vector of plugin description. Get descriptions. Yeah, so this would start with a lock. Then to so if it's valid, right? So if there is something returned here, then I need to fill this up with an actual description. So description. Oh, you know what? That's interesting. I might actually need to store this in a map. Right? I'm going to actually need to initialize all these, right? Because a lot of these really need to be initialized so that I'll know everything about them, like the inputs, outputs, and everything. Yeah, so you know what? I might just do that. I might just do... Yeah, I might need to create each of those plugins once, I guess. I guess it isn't too bad because it's in the same DLL. All this stuff is already loaded. Like, it's not like there's so much happening in the constructor. I hope. Okay. So I should be able... Oh wait, this is instrument stuff in here. Why? There's a lot of stuff here I need to know. Okay, so... Yeah, so this should not be just a string. This should be something like, can you compare this? Does this have an operator equals of something? No, right? No. Okay, so that means that I probably need to... I need a way to search this by... because I need to store this. So I need something like a, let's call this like a plugin info something, and this would have two things. The function, which would now be probably here. Let's call it something like plugin creation function. And I can just do this like so. Here it would take a, let's call it internal plugin info. So this would take a string with a name and the function, because what it needs to actually, it doesn't even need the name. Yeah, because if I have the function, I can just call it once to get the name anyway. So I can, so I don't even have to store this like this. I can, You know what? If I do it like this, I might as well just not use a map here because that's kind of meaningless. I'll just put a vector here. And that's it, right? Right? No, I still just store this because I need to have this cached so I can get it back when I create the menu just for the UI. I need the static version of this. Yeah, so what this needs really is, I'm going to pass it the function, and this would do, it would create the internal plugin once. So probably something like auto plugin. Oh, maybe I can just plugin P, it'll take, or auto P equals internal plugin, takes create from the function, then description equals P get plugin description, right? That's pretty much it. Or I can do P fill plugin description just for, yeah. So I'm going to create the plugin dynamically because this needs to change from other plugins. fill this, and also while we're here, this is fun to use. Yeah, so we can just store this. This. And now I don't even need a map. But I could. Why not? Right? I could do something now like a bool operator equals const general plan info. Other const, not called. And this will just return other not plugin, sorry, it should just be a plugin description. Return this would make it difficult with a map. Let me think. Yeah, because I can just now make this a vector of this stuff called, I don't know, it's a map, it's not a map. When I'm adding I could just do add if not there. Oh. Oh no, it's not good. Oh, it is good. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's not great because I don't know that if I'll have other instances, like, because this could be in a plugin or something. I don't know that if I'll have many instances here. Oh, but maybe I won't. I can have static register things register here. So it's not going to be multiples. This is going to be fine. This is going to be fine. And by the way, pretty soon I can just add this as a template. It's going to make it pretty nice. Okay, so this this means I don't even need to do an add if not there. I can just assume that yeah, so I can just do something like create fuck. Yeah, because I can not even expose the function. I can actually do a template. Type in T. Add. Equals return new T. Yeah, so this is a template way to do that. Should give me a nice interface when I'm creating the register version of this. Yeah, but I think this is not bad. So now the search thing is actually really easy. It should just be yes, let's just do return map find Yeah, I don't even need all this stuff. Literally all of this can just be the lock, I guess. And then and I do like the fact that it's gonna check for the plugin name first. But once it did, it can just return. No. I should just be let's go something like if auto info equals to map find description. Return info func, or sorry, new internal plugin func. Yes, this should be it, I believe. Okay. So that means when I'm creating everything in my menu choices, oh, and one last thing that I need is I need a way to retrieve this list, basically this. So I can just do. I'm not going to give it. I'm going to just like get map const. No, not a const because I need this to have a scope locked. So lock and return just a copy of the map. This is just a way for you to get this into the menu. Here you go. So the menu, this is it. Okay, let's get plugin list, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think what I need is another submenu for the internal. How am I going to do this? Maybe I should separate the internals. So get menu choices is think about this. Oh, here it is. Okay, filter. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so I probably need to work with the juice helper, juice supplied formula. So this will be. So I need for this to basically to be this juice array of plugin description, because I need to be compatible with the juice type so that I can work with the same functions on both. So I will do this. You know what? I actually probably already have a shortcut for this in there. Plugin descriptions. Descriptions. Yeah, I knew I had that. It's so common. Okay. Oh, it's an owned array now, so it's not good. Okay, so let's use this. Okay, so there's a way to get the map here, and then so let's have a function here called menu items. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this, have this whole function basically be a duplicate. So this one is going to just take the array of plugin description. Let's call it types, const. Right, good. So I now should be able to juice array. Okay, so I should be able to basically duplicate, I guess, a default function, or recreate a default function. So one of them will do I'm using this one right now with the yeah, get default plugin menu. I should also do get internal menu choices. And this would return, do the same thing, just get the types from internal get now plugins factory dot get map. So this would be a way to fulfill this. And then what I'll do is, yeah, because if I want to combine them, I would do let's call this get external menu choices, kind of assuming those would be there. Oh, yeah, but I think so for the internal and actually another submenu, right? So this goes over all the sub items and creates a menu item, but with this I would need to do something like auto internal, let's get internal menu choices. And then I would need to create submenu from, right? How do I know the name of the submenu? Oh, okay, so I probably do something like if internal. So if it's not empty, because if there's anything there, then I would need to because this might create it by manufacturer, right? Is that what it does? Oh yeah, so that's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, I don't need to, this is not gonna work. Not good. Let's revert just this couple of functions. Yeah, this is not good. I'm going to write a completely different function for the internal menu, I think. Yeah, so the internal ones, so you get internal, then I can probably can be but here it's just going to be I just need one sub menu basically, so I just need sub menu what's it called, text, I guess. It's going to be like internal. So if it's okay, then add choice, right? I don't need to sort these for now. Oh, so this is the submenu. So right? Maybe I think maybe it's fine. Maybe I can just do this. Let's see if this is just gonna work as it is. Oh, but I also want to make sure that if it's only do this if it's empty. So let's do internal choices equal this. If internal choices sub items not empty, then do that. After this will give me something. Oh, but I haven't registered anything, so this should hopefully compile but still be empty. Still shouldn't show nothing in the menu. Okay, this looks fine. Now I need to, yeah, this looks good. Now I need to, let's go to the plugin stuff. It's actually, this thing should belong in the state. And this has something that I would going to call something like internal plugin register. And all that this would do is go to factory equals plugin hosting, get factory, and factory add This now would need to include. Let's do this in the CV file because I don't need to expose this in the H file. Oops. Add the namespace here. I want to expose this this include to the world, but I'm going to include plugins velocity curve.h, and I should just add a velocity curve there. What's wrong with this? Add T, not good. Good, non-template argument, velocity curve. This should work. Maybe it doesn't like the fact that it's let's call it something like add plugin or add func or something. It's not a plugin; it's a function. No. Add template void add. Cannot substitute non-type template argument velocity curve. Oh, I'm just out of this. This should just be velocity curve processor. So it's not this. This should actually include the name of the processor. So that means I can't have it here. Okay, that's fine. I can have this in the processor class instead of here. So I can go to the audio class. And in the constructor of the audio class, here I can do struct internal plugins register. And this should be like an auto factory equals to plugin hosting. Get your plugin factory. Velocity curve processor. Yes, this looks good. And then I should do something like internal register. Or I can just do something like register plugins. I have a function for this exactly. I think it's called. Anyway, this should be okay. Register plugins, and then now that I call this, this should only be called once. After the first time, it just won't do anything because it's a singleton. Okay, and let's see if this works. So ideally, what this should do is this should have my okay, this is better. Add func. So really, what I was just doing, and for those who are just joining me, I'm writing this VST host that's gonna host, that can host instruments and effects. And what I did was I wanted to add the feature of internal plugins. So that means there's going to be a few plugins like the velocity curve plugin that I've built earlier in the stream, that are going to be built into this host. So the host will have a few plugins that are kind of a part of it without the user need to install them. And what I just did was a way to connect them into the menu so that the menu would automatically populate the information from these plugins that are kind of like a part of this, like a part of the entire bundle. There's a lot of noise here. Is this noise coming from this AI music, or is this something? I guess so. There's some noise there. Okay, so load. Okay, it's still not here. Let's see why. First of all, let's see if this gets called as expected. Well, I don't see why not, but just... The way it works, this should call the constructor of this plugin actually once just to get the information from it, because this is dynamic information, right? So let's see. So generated the function, and then it wanted to create this. Okay, I'm assuming this works, but just to make sure, let's debug here. Doesn't look so good. Try this again. Wait a second. See what this creates. Low demox, low for people who are joining in general. Okay, so iterative velocity curve processor. That's good. Internal plugin, inner. Okay, it is iterative velocity curve processor. That's fine. That looks good. VST internal plugin with yeah, this looks good. Let's see what the description of this is. Name. Okay, it doesn't know the name. Live chainer. It should know the name. Okay, so the question is, are you doing, there's a question here. Are you doing something or solving error? Yes, I'm building something. Let me show you what I'm building. Fortunately, even though I'm still, the one feature I'm doing now is not finished, the actual thing should work. This is something, let me use this music for a second. This is something that, it's like a plugin host. It's an app that lets you, it's an app that can also be a plugin. We'll talk about that feature later. But it lets you load a plugin. So for example, I have Serum loaded here. You can bring up your plugin. You can, change preset, and you can just play. Right? So it will load as a standalone. You don't need to load like Ableton Live or something. It's just gonna work. But you can also add plugins. So for example, I have here like a chain of effects. So I can load this Fab Filter Reverb. And you can load presets. So I have this preset, for example, with Serum, and here's another preset that I loaded before that has Keyscape. It's a piano. So it's like a little launcher that lets you play live with effects and with MIDI effects. And what I'm doing now is I'm working on the feature of MIDI effects so that there will be, not just MIDI effects, but in general, I want to have a few internal plugins here. So not just VST3 plugins, but also a few internal ones. So, and this is something pretty cool because this is going to be a free app probably. So it's just going to be something you can just download and, start playing with your plugins very quickly without any complicated setup. Okay. The feature I need to fix now. Ooh, look at this nice bug. Nice crash on release. I need to fix this. Okay, so what I need to fix now is that the plugin I created was not showing up on the menu. Like there was a pop-up menu, something like get menu choices. If it's not empty, let's see if this worked. So I want to make sure that the pop-up menu or the drop-down menu, this thing, that, well, we didn't see it. For some reason, it didn't show the internal plugins. So I want to see if it would show it. Text, sub-items, size 0. Doesn't sound good. I don't think it should be 0. Let's see, why is it 0? Get the menu, types. Yeah, there is one in there. Okay, that's good. Oh, it doesn't pass the filter. Huh. Let's see why it does not pass the filter. Maybe I'm not filling it correctly if it's an instrument or not. Let's see exactly what it gives me. So load the plugin. This plugin reports name. Okay, their name is wrong. It's already not good. Manufacturer name, that's correct. What about instrument? False. Okay, that's not good. This should be an instrument. Okay, so something here does not get filled correctly. And it's two things. One is that this needs to be called modules, live chainer. Let's call this state plugins velocity curve. No, sorry, audio. Okay, so this should return the name. But this isn't the last thing. The other thing that happens here is this needs to say if it's a synthesizer, and for some reason it does not report that. Let's see how is it supposed to know if it's an instrument or not. Register as generator? No, that's not true. No, let's just do accept MIDI. It's probably a better way to define if you're an instrument, right? Because effects can accept MIDI too. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why. How am I gonna know this? Okay, look at this. Is it working? Okay, it's working without the UI. I'll see in a second why isn't it. Oh, okay, I know why it doesn't work. Okay, I can solve this. But yeah, but now I have a menu. It finds the internal plugins. This, it should not show up here, or it does show up here. Oh, it does show up as an instrument as well. I need to think of what I can do to make it not appear here. I'll need to think about that. Let's see, so the comments are saying how many times to build this and how many times passed. I don't know, this is something I've only worked on for, about a week, but it's only because a lot of the stuff already exists in our library, like a lot of the hosting classes and serializing classes and UI, like all this stuff are already in our library. So, Modalix, we've been building a lot of these like components to this. So I'm not working for long on this product, but I've been working on the library for 2 years. So the libraries the same libraries we're using for other products. I'm hoping that within a week or something we can finish this, or at least some version of this. So I don't know if it's possible or not, but I'm hopeful. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to see. So I ran into a couple of bugs. Bug one is when I created this is actually a bit of an issue. I need to think of how am I going to solve this, because yeah, that one is interesting. So the way my code is structured, this is built in C++. Yes, all our apps and plugins, the Modalix stuff, the other stuff I worked on for other companies like Waves, Deadmau5, Xfer, it's all C++, which I think is like the prominent language in this realm of audio. Okay, so yeah, I need to think about this, because here's what happens. The way my code works, the processor is actually not aware of the UI. Like usually what I do is only in the last like plugin area, then I connect the UI to to the audio, like just when you get the plugin. However, in this particular scenario, I think I might need to find a way to connect this, because this little you know what? Maybe I don't. Hang on a second. Maybe what I could do is move this again. It's a little weird. Hang on a second. Yeah, there's a bit of a problem here. But maybe I can solve this. What I can do is this thing. Oh yeah, you know what? This register thing, I can probably move this. I can put this in the actual plugin because only here there's a little thing called live shader. Only here is where kind of everything gets aware, like the everything gets connected, audio, UI, like it all gets known. So this let's write something, call it plugin register. Yeah, okay. Set another CP to this, like plugin register. The question is, where am I from? What, my English accent or my American accent does not sound perfect? Are you saying that I do not sound like a Texan cowboy now? I'm surprised my accent is not giving away that I'm, of course, fully born and raised in the U.S. of America, of course. No, I am originally from Israel, but I am currently in Las Vegas, in the US. So this is where I am currently. Ooh, Demox is from India. Awesome. I love India. Never been there, but I have worked with people from India. Love Indian musicians. I know this is gonna be random, but my favorite album, I wish I could play it, but I'll probably get my stream removed. My favorite album now is from, I think, is an Indian musician. Her name is, and I'm gonna botch it, but it's such an amazing album. I want to read this because it's so good. Where's my Spotify? Freak out. Okay. So the album is called Vari, and I don't want to destroy her name, but it's something like Vari Jashri Venugopal. She's such an amazing Indian singer. She's got like Bella Fleck on that album and Victor Wooten, and it's an amazing one of the best albums I've heard in the last few years. So I'm sorry for butchering her name, but Vari, look up Vari on Spotify if you don't know it. It's really, really good. Sorry for the random Indian Indian comment. I love Indian music in general. So this is going to be something like plugins. How is it called? Something like live chainer. And this would include basically the same as here. And then yes, I think instead of creating this should create a combination of the processor and the editor. Basically this. I would need a cleaner way to do this, but yeah, this is basically what the code for this register is going to look like. And I might need to, I might clean it up if I once I add more plugins, but let's start with this. Register velocity curve. So there's a template function that's going to add this. I don't need this anymore. And this would just do error return. Here it is with editor processor, right? So it just doesn't need to return anything. Just add this. This is the way to connect the processor and the editor, and then I would just do register velocity curve. Yeah, and I'll probably need a nicer way to this, but I needed this little thing because otherwise there's no way to connect both of these because the specific modules are not aware of each other. That's I guess the downside of the separation I made, that it's a little wordy to kind of re-stamp them together. And then live chainer, and all I need here. Yeah, so I'm going to need to include this, include plugin register, and then register plugins. Plugins, live chainer, register plugins. And let's just not using or select namespace. Audio equals. Audio. Or I could just do this. Audio, just EA audio. Or I guess I can just use namespace. EA audio. this. Yeah, this is like a spare. All right, so let's hope this works. So the idea is that this basically gets called on construction, but it only gets called. I mean, it might get called multiple times on the plugin version, but because it's a singleton, the register should only still happen once, I believe. So we will see if this is the case, but I believe that's how it should work. Okay, and then load internal velocity curve. Let's show this. Yes, and now it shows the beautiful UI of my beautiful velocity curve. Look how beautiful and smooth this is. I can add my little sections, add these. So, and I did this because now there's still probably a velocity curve here because this is a VST3, but I should be able to go to my plugins folder now. Remove velocity. I can remove this. I can remove all of these basically. Yeah, and so now it should. That means that whoever gets this chainer should not install anything to get an internal plugin. So let's rescan the plugins. Good. Now, here we go. Internal velocity curve is still there. Let's unload this. And I'm going to load. I don't see velocity curve here, or I do see it. Why do I still see it? That's weird. Oh, I don't see it. It was like some leftover from before, right? Modalex. Okay, so it's not here. I only see Eon ARP and Beat Scholar. Hey. Missing a couple of things here. That's weird. Oh, because I'm still running the scan. I have not noticed what happened now. It's weird that it let me do something while running the scan. Okay. Okay, that's good. Internal. Let's redo the scan. See what happens. That's weird. This should show me this thing. I'm not sure why it takes something weird is happening with the scanning. I hope I didn't screw up the scanning just now. Rescan plugins. That's weird. That's pretty weird. Something is happening here during the scan. The scan is not smooth as it was a few minutes ago. Well, the list looks okay. I'm weirded out about what has happened to my scan. Like, when my scan is so. See, I click it. It takes forever. It does work. It just doesn't show anything on screen. Like, something got stuck in my UI. Oh, you know what? Let's have a look at my editor for a second. Let's take a look at UI editor. function should be called immediately when I change to be during scan. Okay. Rescan. Huh, why does it take so long to do? It took a while. That's not good. Set an async version of the scan, see what happens. Threads call async. Let's see if this works. The idea is that when you click rescan, it's not going to freeze the UI immediately, just going to keep going, even though I still suspect there's some other problem here, because this shouldn't take that long. Well, it might take long to scan, but it shouldn't take that long to just show the scanner. It should kind of show immediately. Yeah, that's not good. This takes something is freezing the message thread here almost. You know what? This is not related to what I'm just doing. I think it might be related to this, something that I've added to the process somehow. Maybe I added some recursive process or something. Let's have a look. No, I don't want this anymore. Oh, okay. I think I know what might be happening here. Damn it, that's not good. Okay, I realized what happened. This plugin scans itself. Okay, it scans itself, and then every time it scans it, it does this registering thing. Right? Yeah, that's not good. What I just realized. No, it's not good. This is not good. No, so I cannot do what I just did. Huh. Okay, this is pretty dangerous, I guess. Let's go back to... No, wait, this shouldn't scan myself. I don't... this plugin doesn't even exist. So there's no way it happened. Okay, so it's not the factory. I guess it could be something about the... Let's see if this is a problem. See if this was it. So weird. Something takes so long there. I can. My scan used to be so fast, and now it's like try something now. It's gonna maybe there's some other thread pool that's been taking over this. Yeah, I should probably give this thing its own thread pool. Let's try this. Let's give it something like a thread pool. So I'm going to create its. Right now I'm using like a shared pool, and it's probably not a good idea. But it's like pool and job. Or I should give this thing its own thread pool. It could be that something running in the background kind of took over the tasks for this poll, which I need to find what could have done this, but it could be, I guess, a number of different things. So I think it makes sense the scanner would run its own poll for the duration of the scan. I should be seeing like 10 or 8 of these like little processes scanning really quickly. That's really a bit of this, the interesting bit about this multi-process scanner that I wrote. Okay, this is better, but something is not right here. First of all, this would be way faster. Like dramatically faster. I'm not sure what I just did in the last few minutes. It made this so slow. Interesting. Anyway, I can commit this and then see what I did. So, so this would be I can just, let's run a profiler on this and see what it does during scan. Maybe I can learn a little bit about this. So weird. That's it, it's just completely stuck. I'm not sure what's going on here. Something is completely screwed up. This was working so well. Let's try something. I have another plugin here using the same scanner. Something is off in the way this works. This should not be working like this. It's definitely better in this plugin than it is in the other plugin. This for a test, I want to. For test, I want to remove the main offender here, which is the Waves plugins. So let's remove those for a second. It finishes really quickly, if you notice that, super quickly, but I don't know why it took so long. It should immediately show, you see, something in the message thread here is taking way too long. I wonder what that is. Let's look at the other plugin again. Yeah, this looks much better because this looks like pretty quickly it showed me the window. And this is the same scanning. This shouldn't be any different. So something specifically on the chainer. Yeah, I'm not even creating these descriptions. So what's different here? Let's unload whatever plugins are loaded. This could be related, I guess. Unload them. Then rescan. Yeah, something is frozen here while I'm doing this. Something is frozen in my UI. What could be frozen in my UI while it's scanning? No, it's fine. Maybe my computer needs a restart or something. Yeah, this is pretty much, I don't know, maybe just my computer goes crazy because of the stream or something. Who knows? Yeah, maybe it's fine. So let's bring back the internal plugins. Okay, good. Okay, so I think that's good. Let me go to my task list that will remind me. And I can say that I finished this. Okay. What else? Okay, let's create media utility transpose. This should be pretty easy, right? Build a transpose plugin. I think I already have like most of the components for a transpose. So let's try this. The only thing with the transposing, we have to make sure that it's that it can kind of keep track of the elements that's in it. So let's create this. Should be in state, I think. Plugins. Let's call this transpose. Yeah, so transpose should be very easy. Unlike this thing, this should have parameters. Param list. And this would have something like int parameter like amount. Minus 12 to 12 default 0. And it should also have this thing called octave. Octave, so minus 4, 0. Good, so this won't need this, I believe. Let's be commercial plugins state actually. And probably should be the same thing, velocity curve. Good, and then the audio processing of this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm building this very basic transpose utility plugin. Update I probably don't need. Process that I would need. I don't need all these. This is probably going to be even a more straightforward thing than the transpose because I think I should already have this the actual like meat of this written, and all this would do is just wrap the thing my inner processor all it does in a function or in a plugin. Sorry, so I think I should have MIDI. Should have something like that. Like include. If I don't have that in my library, I really should. Because really a transpose in this case is not just the transposition, which is really basic. It's also to make sure that note ons and offs, maybe I call it by a different name. Basically it's to make sure that note on and offs match when you change it so that you don't have stuck notes. So I need to, let's see. It's so weird for me that I don't have it already. If I don't, it's going to be super weird. MIDI processors. Yeah, what is this? Transpose. Here it is, transpose processor. I think this is exactly that. So it's MIDI mapper transpose processor. I believe this should be just that. Let's see if that works. think that's pretty much it. And then the chainer. Yeah, so in this case, registration should be easier because I believe this should just work with a generic UI, at least for now. So I don't need to necessarily write a plugin editor for this to test the functionality of this. Oh, so how does this get created? Minimum. Oh, right. Forgot about that. It's gonna be amount to mount. Okay, journal and transpose. Let's see what transpose does. Amazing, look at these beautiful two knobs. The UI, those were automatically generated. Let's load Serum. And let's see if this works as it should. So I'll play. Oh, awesome. So you see what happens? This is a live transpose. That means that I can literally hold the note. Right? I don't need to like re-hold the note. So it knows what notes are pressed and regenerates existing notes. It's a really good transpose plugin. You can actually use this to play live, you know, because you can, if you map this to like a MIDI controller or something, like I just hold a note. I really like this plugin. Good. This plugin is really good. So let's just see that it stores its state, even though I think it should because it's using our libraries and so on. Very good. And you can see it, but it keeps opening my stuff on the other window. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, perfect. So let's commit this and say live changer added. transpose plugin. And I can say that I've finished it. Okay, what do I need to do now? So I need to do add a couple of built-in stuff. One is a synthesizer. I might need a little break before I do the synthesizer. It will probably be super simple, but I just want to have some built-in synthesizers so that people loading this without nothing can do just, they can just play something, even if they didn't install their plugin just yet. So I just want to make a synthesizer with like a few knobs. I think it's going to be a fun project. And same thing with the audio effects. So I can just pick like the most basic audio effect, like maybe I'll put a filter on, or yeah, like maybe I could do a low pass. Maybe I'll do a low pass filter and clipper. Yeah, like a clipper, just like a hard basic clipper would be good. And then maybe something like low pass filter. But I guess let's start with just the most basic clipper. So. Oh, so that's interesting. How did it know so far that it has MIDI input? I guess it knew that because of the like the bass class or something. But I think here I need to explicitly basically say, yeah, because this isn't great. I need to, on the audio side of these previous plugins, yeah, so accepts MIDI, produces MIDI, is MIDI effect. Yeah, so this needs to be return true. Return true. And same the velocity curve. However, this little thing that I need to add right now, which is going to be called the clipper. It's going to be the most basic effect ever written, pretty much. I probably don't even need these CVP files. They do nothing. Right, I can just do this, remove this, remove this. Just get rid of this, get rid of these CVP files. They're so pointless. This as well. So I'll just have one parameter here. It's going to be the simplest effect ever written. I just want to have some sort of audio effects. So, and it's actually a useful one, you know, just like most basic clipper. So 0, 1, default is 1. Basically, it's going to be called, or clip. So how do you clip at? How do you usually call these things? Let's do a percent parameter. I have that parameter clip, and this is something like a you know, just how much clipping, basically. Oh, I didn't even need this. This is just pointless. No need for this. Clipper basically needs almost also nothing. And then the processor for this. Where's the processor for this amazing clipper? MIDI, and this should do something like return. This should have the buffer in here. This is not needed, and this should do. I should have this function somewhere. Should do something like buffers clip, and the value using like auto-val equals params clip get value. -1, because 100% clipping would mean yeah, also what I'll probably do is I'll do that so that if yeah, so I want that 0% clipping. Yeah, so basically like auto-val equals params clip get value. And what I want is that if value is only when it's bigger than 0.01, everything below it will just do nothing, just complete bypass, and anything else would clip the buffer to 1 minus val. Yeah, something like that. Larger or equal. 0.01 should be okay. Okay. This is really the entire plugin pretty much. So let's yeah, let's register this. Let's go to the plugins register. Yeah, I don't even need this function. Like, I can probably just call this add expose processor, and this would be add clipper processor. Let's see if this works. So what this should do is this should detect that this internal plugin exists, show it in the list, and hopefully produce a great, useful clipper. Clippy. Okay. It's my plugin. Let's load internal clipper. Let's look at the amazing UI that was created for my clipper. Let's play some nicer sound, see if that it's gonna make any difference. So let's load Keyscape. Switch loading Keyscape here, just loading a piano. Okay, and then my beautiful clipper. Oop, 100% doesn't work, but okay, so I probably need a nicer curve here to make this actually sound like a clipper. And also 100% doesn't do anything. So I need a better curve. Let's keep this preset, close it. And instead of doing what I just did, let's curve this somehow. So let's do that the curve is, let's do something like a float get clipping value, float val or something. And let's do something like ranges map. So input would be 1 to 0, and I would map this to yeah, so so that's what I want is that yeah, because clip at 0 makes no sense, but I want to get to, let's say, no, you know what? Maybe I will have the nothing. You know, we'll just have a curve. I'll do something like a ranges map skewed from normalized from value, or let's do 1 minus value. Then minimum is 0, 1, but the center should be like 0. So I wanted this to start from, I don't want 1 actually. One is not helping me. So let's do 0. You know, no, I'm wrong, because I want, so basically No, let's take the, because I want 100% to be really close to 0, but not 0. That's really what I want. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. So I want 100%. Or in this case, I want 0% to be. Let me think about this. Yes, maybe I'll take the regular value. Does this work with the reverse range? I don't remember. I don't think so. Right? So I need first to, let's take the regular value. So 0%. Yeah, so I want that. I think what I want is 100% to be something like 0.01, like something really short. It's more than this. The other side should be pretty much almost 1, I guess. Yeah, 1 I guess would make sense, but the center would need to be really close. No, actually, this should be 1 minus. Oh, I can just do return 1 minus. Let's see if this produces something normal. And I think if the center will be in a place that makes sense, this would be like a nice noisy clipper. Doesn't look good. Clipped 0.7. No, that's not good. Oh, let's not do not. Okay, so I think I did it the other way. There would be 0, and this should be something like 0.99. Oh, and I should make this closer to the max actually. So the center should be like 0.9. Because I'm reversing this. So it should never reach 0 basically. We should never reach 100%. Oh, this sounds clipped. See, it's getting a little bit of clipping. Okay, the end of the range doesn't really help anybody, so let's make because I think the end of the range is actually the beginning of the range. So I need let's do something like like 0.1. Let's try this. Okay, so oh no, so I made a mistake. Maybe this should be 0. Yeah, so I think I need this to be, let's do 9 and 8. See if these ranges would make a little bit more sense. No, the barrel doesn't do anything. So I need I guess I really need smaller intervals. Let's try this. There's so much range in this, like in the end of this, so I really want to push as much as I can into the top of the range where it actually makes an audible sound. Good. The only thing I think this needs is a nice little makeup gain. So let's go to the parameters, add volume param gain, or let's just look at this. Let's do 2 levels of this. Let's do gain. I think it's got some good defaults or something like, right? Something like but you know what, let's do -100. 6 dB. No, let's do something like 24 dB. That's gonna be good. 24 dB, and then 24 dB, and then you know what, if I do that, I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to make a change. 24 dB, and then default will be 0 dB, and then I'll do makeup. This probably doesn't need that much gain. 0. So it's going to be gain, clip, makeup. Okay. And then let's look at the processor for a second. The processor would need 2 things in it. Where are you? So the processor would need smooth gain, smooth gain, makeup. I now would need a prepare function because this actually has a smoothing that needs to look at the sample rate. So this would be gain, prepare, sample rate, makeup, prepare, sample rate. I'm going to remove this optimization because I now with the makeup, with the pre-gain, even 0 could actually clip. Probably a good idea to actually make it do something. It means I might, I don't know, maybe I'll give this like a little bit of like a minus. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, what I need to do is first do game process buffer. When I finish, I want to do makeup process buffer. Hopefully this would help make the plugin a little bit more useful. It's not the most interesting saturation plugin, but it is, after all, some built-in thing. So let's see what it does. There's nothing. Awesome. Oh, what do you mean buffer? Params not gain. Good. And makeup. Good. Good. Sounds good. I think that's pretty much all we needed from this plugin. So I have a Clipper plugin. Sounds good. Let's commit this and say added Clipper plugin. Okay, that looks good. Let's add one more plugin. Perhaps let's do maybe I'll do like a little filter or something. Yeah, let's do something like a low pass filter. So let's call it something like SVF. Hello, Craig. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. I'm here working on my on our little plugin host, which is a really cool app and plugin that can load other plugins and play them live. That should be a free thing that we would release shortly. I'm just writing a few like basic plugins that will come with this, so that when you load this thing and you have no plugins, you would have at least a couple installed. So we just wrote earlier Transpose plugin, Velocity Curve plugin, and a Clipper plugin, which we just finished a few minutes ago. This new plugin is going to be just an SVF filter, or it's probably going to go later and help design the UI for those, but I'm just using a generic UI for now. All the stuff are stuff that come from our library, so I don't actually need to write like a lot of the DSP for this because we have that already. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to here, plugins, have the state for the SVF. I think I actually already have most of the stuff for that plugin written somewhere, so let's see what I have here. No? The EQ I might take somewhere from here, but Should have a filter somewhere. The main thing I want is the parameters. Yeah, that's pretty much what I need. So the filter here is gonna be really boring. Let's I need the state, right? Try a different parameters class. I think I probably can do just with cutoff and resonance. It should be okay. Cutoff, reso. Let's call this thing now resonance. Resonance. Add the parameters. Let's go to the audio side. Just call this SVF. So I'm just going to copy paste the class for the filter, even though change the contents, and that would mean, so this should be SVF. State should also expose the SVF state. And then I need to add the CPP file. Okay, so this is called SVF. Access MIDI, produce MIDI, effect. Good. Prepare. So this would just need something like SVF. So what this needs, do I have my filters? Yeah, I do have my filters. So you know what I can add? I can add strength. Let's add this. This would be fun. We tested my strength parameter actually works. Let's add the parameter for something like int param strength. Between 1, 4, and default would be 2. And that would mean that when I initialize this here, get name is SVF. This is going to be multi-filter of float and 4. Right? Yeah. Filter. Filter, prepare. So 2 channels. Okay. The processing should just do filter, process, buffer, params cutoff, params reso, and oh, what do I set the strength? I forgot, there should be some version where we just set the strength dynamically, right? Oh, so for that I need to filter coefs. Filter coefs. Filter coefs. Strength equal params strength. Let's do O2 coefs equals this. And let's see what this filter does. Oh, I need to register the filter, otherwise it's not going to show up in the scanning. So I need to go to plugins, chainer, register. Okay. Sure what it's doing, probably not the right thing. Oh, I need to set these coefs. Process. Let's have something that takes the coefs, or no? That was correct. So what did I do wrong? Oh, okay. Oh, this is a clipper. Not sure what it's doing, but it's probably wrong. Number of channels, SR block, that's fine. Oh, yeah, it is fine. Number of channels, SR. Float, 4, okay. What did I miss? What did I miss here? looks good. Wow, what did I screw up? It doesn't respond to what I was supposed to do. No, definitely that moves. Oh. Oh. So how was this supposed to be set up? Okay, so why is it stopping out here already? Excellento. Okay, so plugin. I think we got something pretty good. So as we said, we have our plugin chainer. You can run a chain, run an instrument with. Why is this stopping? Do we have like a data breakpoint in there? What's going on there? If you, what is that? How do I see all the breakpoints? Okay, no breakpoint anymore. Good. So we have the plugin chainer. Oh, I have this bug that I need to check. There's some crash here. It happens. Here goes the crash. Is on the chain. It gets destroyed, and then oops. Let's see if I can reproduce this crash. Yes. So I'm guessing it happened because something didn't finish loading correctly. That's what causes the crash. I don't think I'm loading the plugins on another thread. Chalk. I wonder what this is. I'm guessing this comes from like a plugin, one of the other plugins that are running, that any of my loaded plugins are loading. I think what happens is I'm probably removing the plugin. Let's see if this is like this could also be a bug on somebody else's plugin, not mine. Which plugin do I have as an instrument now? Keyscape. Let's not load that. Load. Save. Okay, now I'm gonna try to reproduce this crash. Yeah, no crash. Let's see if I can get Keyscape to crash in like Ableton if I do kind of load it and unload it really fast. Switch to Sonics Keyscape. Load, and I'm going to close it really fast as I can. No crash. Let's try to run Keyscape through plugin val. It's going to be fun. Tools, plugin val. Keyscape test. Yep. Look at this. Looks like Keyscape itself is crashing. Maybe I need to update my Keyscape. Yeah, open plugin cold. Okay, so let's see. Maybe there's an update. Keyscape latest version. Okay, looks like my version is pretty old. Okay, so maybe I just need to log in and update or something. Which version did it say I have? 1.1. Yeah, I think I have the latest version. That is the latest version. It's just a newer patch library or something. Okay. Oops. So loading another plugin. It's possible that it's just like a bug with the Keyscape itself. Let's try another. Which other plugin did I try? Let's try Serum to see if it's gonna work in Serum. The plugin, for those who don't know, is like a stress test for plugins. Like if, for example, it's gonna run the plugin like a million sample rates and gonna open, close the UI immediately and stuff like that. So yeah, so this works. I don't see any segmentation faults in Serum. So let's see if I'm gonna get the crash if I use Serum. Okay, let's have Serum in there. Serum is loaded. Let's close, and now I'm gonna just load it and immediately close it as fast as I can. And close, 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 close. My UI is frozen. Oh, what, did I click something? Something just happened. Let's try again. No. I have no idea what just happened. Why couldn't I click the close button? Wow, my... Oh, plugin val is still running Serum. Or something. Something is up in there. Okay, let's try again. Loads and closes. No crash. Okay, so I think it's probably a specific bug with that plugin and not something on my end. At least I don't think it is. Oh, here's that. Now I have a freeze. Nothing works. I mean, no, it's not true. I can click these buttons, but this is... Okay, it took a while till my X shows up. I wonder why that is. Oh, it just works. Anyway, no crashes, so that's good. Okay, this is pretty good stuff. I think I need to take a little break, and then I probably should write the synth. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna stop the stream and start a new one probably pretty soon if I don't fall asleep. Thank you, everyone.